Hi, in this tutorial we're going to walk through designing and deploying a basic cloud template. The very first thing you'll do is select New From in Cloud Assembly to create a new cloud template from a blank canvas. We will call this Deployment Template, and we will select our development project. Now we'll click Create. This now takes you to the Cloud Template Design Canvas. You'll see on the left-hand side we have a lot of our out-of-the-box objects that you can drag onto the canvas. For this tutorial, we're going to drag over a vSphere machine. You'll notice that it starts to create our infrastructure as code for us. Under Image, we will select our CentOS image mapping. This is a direct relationship to the image mappings we created during our configuration. Next, we're going to type in flavor. You'll notice that it starts to autocomplete for us, and we can select the different flavor mappings we have also set up as a part of our initial configuration. We will select medium. For this example, we aren't going to worry about CPU count or memory totals, so we'll go ahead and delete those. Now you can see I've got a simple cloud template that's going to deploy a vSphere machine. I can go ahead and test this template to make sure that it meets all the criteria necessary to deploy into my environment. Now that we see that the test is successful, we can go ahead and create a version of our cloud template. I'm going to call this Simple Machine Deployment. At this point, we have our first version of our cloud template. But what if we need to add more resources to this template? For example, I can drag an NSXT network object onto the canvas, and you'll again see that it's going to auto-complete our infrastructure as code, and I need to associate this network to our vSphere machine so we know that it's going to deploy the vSphere machine onto this specific network. Again, we'll run through a test. And again, once our test is successful, we'll now be able to create a second version of our cloud template. We'll call this one Machine and Network, and we'll say Create. Now we've got two versions of our cloud template, one with a machine, one with a machine and network. But of course, we'll want to add storage to this blueprint as well. So we'll go ahead and drag a vSphere disk over. You'll see again, it starts to populate our infrastructure as code. We can set the capacity that we want in gigabytes. I'll say 5, and then I'll associate it to my vSphere machine, which tells vRealize Automation that when they deploy this template, they also need to deploy a vSphere disk and attach it to this particular vSphere machine that lives on this NSX network. I'll go ahead and click Test again, and once the test is successful, we will then create our final version, version 3. We'll call it Machine, Network, and Storage. We'll hit Create. And now we're ready to deploy the machine. By selecting Deploy, we can give it a deployment name. This one we'll call Template Deployment, and we'll select Deploy. You'll notice that it takes us immediately to the deployment detail screen. This is where we can follow along with the deployment and understand all the information and history that goes along with this particular deployment. You'll see here it started creating the objects necessary for the deployment of our cloud template. Once this is complete, it'll give us all the information we need to interact with our deployment. Thank you for watching this tutorial.